Hello and welcome back to NoBS. Today we turn to talking about one of the most woke TV channels currently, one that's been losing money and ratings for a long time now, probably mostly because of that. I'm of course talking about ESPN. ESPN actually used to be a pretty fun sports channel. They carry a lot of games, commentary, host highlight shows, sports news, all kinds of fun stuff like that. Used to be their bread and butter. I actually used to grow up and watch SportsCenter with my dad. They had some funny guys on there back in the day. I remember they actually had a few comics like Craig Kilborn hosting too, like sports guys who also had a few laughs in them. And, it used to be good. It used to be fun. It still is, serviceable if you want to watch a game that happens to be on one of their channels. But the problem is they've been getting increasingly woke recently. Like ESPN has totally fallen into all this hype. You know how the sports leagues have gone that way too. NFL, NBA, baseball even. They're all going that way. They're supporting BLM. They're going pro-black, anti-white, like talking about supporting Biden and supporting all this liberal stuff. And that wokeness has killed the NBA and the NFL's ratings too. The NFL's ratings are in the tank, as are ESPN. It goes along with that. And ESPN is really going along with that too. Like ESPN has had that on their air. They've had that, problem for a long time now, which makes sense since they're owned by Disney. Disney is one of the worst woke companies out there today. They've done this kind of crap with Star Wars and their other properties. Marvel comic books and their movies have gotten increasingly woke, as has ESPN, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to go over how their ratings are their lowest in many, many years. ESPN could get canceled, honestly. And in addition, they've had some examples where they're promoting this pro-woke stuff. We're going to go over a couple tweets that exemplify that and really just shows why they're going broke. They got woke, now they're going broke, and their company and their owners are going to pay for this. So we're going to get to that soon. We're going to talk about all the details and all that fun stuff. But first, let's take a quick moment to check out our sponsor. Hey guys, today I want to offer you another one of these awesome free gold coins. This time it's the firefighter coin. This time we're supporting our boys in red, the ones we call when we need safety and help when things go wrong at our house or somewhere we work. When there's a fire, we call the fire department, and there's no better way to support America's firefighters than getting one of these free gold coins. All you have to do is pay for shipping, and one of these awesome firefighter coins can be yours today. It's a really great deal. It's an awesome offer coming from the Brave Patriot. They're great with these gold coins. They have lots of cool offers and styles, and today's no different. All you have to do is pay for shipping, and you could get this awesome firefighter coin and support these guys who really support our neighborhoods and our country. Thanks for your time today. Hopefully you check out our exclusive link below if you're interested. And now back to the show. Great. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk more about ESPN. This first article from Bro Bible has the details about the ratings. It says ESPN ratings are tanking beyond belief. First Take outperformed by cartoons and National Geographic shows. So they are losing to some pretty low level content. I'm sure there's some good cartoons in there, but basically what they're saying is like cartoons and these documentaries are outperforming ESPN, which used to be a big deal. They used to be like a ratings juggernaut. They used to be like a lot of fun too. Like I mentioned in the intro, they used to be a good show, but now it's just totally fallen apart. It was no secret that ESPN's ratings were going to take a big time hit when the sports world hit pause, but it's surprising to see just how bad things have gotten for the network recently. ESPN was founded in 1979, and on Wednesday, its programming numbers hit an all-time low. Again, we can all argue that we're in an unprecedented time at this moment, but an all-time low is an all-time low regardless of the situation. Pretty simple. People simply aren't watching the network like at all. And yeah, I would chime in on that and say, yeah, it's probably to do with this year and the sports having been canceled at the beginning of the summer, and we had to delay a lot of activities. I know there wasn't much for ESPN to air throughout the summer, but the point is now the sports are back. That's the thing. There are sports now. NFL's back, NBA, everyone's playing right now. October is supposed to be like the biggest sports month, by the way. That's like when all the sports are back in session. So the fact that they're failing now right before October and when all the sports are back, it's just a bad sign, and they should have a ratings bump right now, but instead they're going in the drain. And I think we all know why. We know it's because of the woke stuff. It has to do with that. The virus might cause it a little bit, but yeah, it should have gone up, and it just isn't. It's weird. Next, we're going to talk about a tweet and give you guys some examples of why this is happening. It's pretty obvious that the wokeness is hurting the company like it hurts all kinds of channels and shows and media properties. And here's a good example from that. Here's Mark Jones, who works for ESPN. He's got a Black Power image for his thumbnail, and he has this to say. It says, "Saturday at my football game, I'll tell the police officer on duty to protect me. He can just take the day off, for real. I'd rather not have the officer shoot me because he feared for his life because of my Black black skin, or other dumbish. I'm not signing my own death certificate 100. So this is absolutely absurd. This is totally crazy talk, and it's coming from someone associated with ESPN. They do ESPN play-by-play, apparently. I'm not super familiar with this host specifically, but clearly he's out of control. He's spreading lies and propaganda, and it's just super, it's almost funny to me, but it's also dark and very, very racist and anti-cop, surely. I mean, who is actually believing that cops are going around shooting black people because they fear their skin color? Like, this tells me that this guy thinks really highly of himself. He thinks that everyone's scared of him if he walks around like, oh, we're all scared of you. It's like, no, we're not all scared of black people. Cops aren't racist and scared of black people. It's not like that at all. Like, calm down. You're overhyping yourself. You're overplaying your hand. And yeah, it's just like we said, these examples throughout this year, we've talked about this in video after video. And yeah, the examples this year, they're not just innocent black dudes walking down the street getting attacked by cops. Cops are getting called in because of criminals. These guys are criminals breaking the law. They've either spent counterfeit money, they're falling asleep in drive-thrus, they're violating restraining orders. Like, all the three main cases involved criminals breaking the law, the cops coming in, trying to arrest them. They resist, reach for weapons, and then what else are they supposed to do? Are the cops just supposed to surrender and let themselves get killed? It's like, no, they're going to defend themselves. They're going to save them and their partners' lives. They're also going to save the community by getting these violent criminals off the streets. Now, that doesn't mean they should die. No one should have to die. But if you don't want to get hurt, don't attack people. If you don't want to get arrested, then don't commit a crime. It's just like simple stuff. And this coming from the Mark Jones guy at ESPN, the fact that this is still up is totally ridiculous. And this is going to show why ESPN, his network, is going down in flames. Like, he's really, really failing everyone at his company. And that's why the company going along with this are actually encouraging this. We've seen other sports hosts talk about this before. We had a video from a guy a few weeks ago who was like saying, oh, the NBA players are so brave. They're sacrificing themselves for, walking out on a game because of the current events. It's just totally silly and insane. And this guy is totally going off of the rails. I mean, look at this. These guys are commenting. This guy says, I'll protect myself. This guy's laughing at him. This guy says, sir, this is a Wendy's. Wendy's, you say, that's the Wendy's they burnt down in Atlanta because that one guy attacked a cop. And this is a joke. Has this account been hacked? This seems a bit much. You're better than this. Yeah, people are doubting this is even the real guy. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's a parody. It's a verified account. He seems to be keeping the tweet up. Here's another tweet from him. It says, a young black dude actually found the bag which had popped out of our SUV. He was heading to the game and saw it in the ditch. He recognized my face on my iPad in the bag. He handed it off to police at the parking lot. So now he's like cool with the police. I don't know. I think he's trying to play damage control. Like, here, this is the response. He's trying to like get with the cops after saying that the cops are just going to kill him. I always ride in another car with my spotter and statistician who are white. Dear friends of 30 years who take a bullet for me. I'm not going to lie. I love our police escorts to the stadium. Saves us a good 40 minutes to 1 hour of not waiting in traffic. So I don't know. I think he's doing damage control now because he clearly went too far and acted like the cops were just going to straight up kill him for no reason, which is just paranoia. That's what I see about that. That's like a paranoid person who thinks something like that. Like, that's pretty insane. Next, we have an ESPN post boasting Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick spoke out after the police officers involved in Breonna Taylor's shooting were not indicted on charges related to her death. Now we're back to the Breonna Taylor story, and they're just basically promoting Colin Kaepernick. He's like the most woke figure ever. He's the guy who ruined the NFL. He started all this kneeling crap back in 2016, tries to act woke. He has this 60s style afro to make him look like he's from the civil rights era. And here's what he has to say. The white supremacist institution of policing that stole Breonna Taylor's life from us must be abolished for the safety and well-being of our people. Breonna Taylor, say her name, abolish the police. Now, this is interesting for a number of reasons. First of all, this is a big reason why ESPN's ratings are tanking, is because they're supporting BS like this. And it's just based on crap. I mean, Breonna Taylor's case actually just came out with the details. First of all, let's note that her family got $12 million from the city. And then people freaked out when the cops weren't arrested or whatever. They probably wanted to execute those cops, which is crazy because they had a warrant. They were investigating a drug dealer who Breonna Taylor associated with. She was living with a dealer, and then they knocked on the door. This is something the Democrats tried to hide. They tried to pretend there was no knock, but they knocked. They said they were the cops. They came in. The guy started shooting at the cops, so they had to fire back to defend themselves. And apparently Breonna got caught in the crossfire. That's tragic. It sucks, but she really was playing with fire. You don't hang out with dealers. You don't live in their houses. You don't hang out and do illegal things in your house because that just invites violence and bad things and cops in this case. And the guy really that should be blamed here here is the boyfriend. Like, Brianna had made a mistake by dating a dealer and a criminal. She supported him. She rented cars from him, basically was his assistant to this crime. And yeah, it sucks, but I mean, I'm not saying it's deserved. Like, obviously we don't want anyone to die, but if you shoot at cops, they have a right to shoot back and protect themselves. And I'm just wondering, how come the guy that was shooting didn't die? Like, where was Brianna in this? She must have been really close to him. Some people even speculate he used Brianna as like a human shield, because I mean, how did she die and this guy is okay and he's telling the story? He even admits they heard a knock. That's why they got up into the hallway and had their weapons out. So it's a total bogus fake story, and ESPN is supporting this fake news like white supremacist institution. By the way, that makes no sense. There's nothing to do with race here. There was no racism involved in Brianna's thing. Like, it was just happened to be she was black, I was black. You know, the cops, I'm not even sure what race they are. It doesn't matter because it wasn't to do with race. But SportsCenter / ESPN is race baiting this. Speaking of SportsCenter, that's one of their shows. Here's a tweet from them. Another tweet regarding Breonna Taylor. It says, "I just wanted to write this small piece to just say, Brianna, I'm sorry that the justice system has failed you. We haven't and won't forget your name, Donovan Mitchell." And then there's a picture and a longer quote that we could get into, but I don't think we need it. It's just more examples of why ESPN's losing the public. That no one cares. They don't want this stuff in their sports. That's why people are not watching those sports too. Like, this is supposed to be an escape. This is supposed to be SportsCenter. This is supposed to be ESPN playing sports. And the fact that they're inserting all this crap into it, it's really old, and that's why they're failing. And I think you guys get the point. That wraps things up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Tell me what you think about ESPN, their ratings tanking. Tell me what you think about the channel failing, and also sports in general. I mean, they're just totally tied with sports, it being a sports channel. So they really rely and follow the lead of the league. So it makes sense that they went down this path too, because that's what the NFL and the NBA are doing. That's what all their, insiders are doing. So they're going along with it, just like they're going along with their owner, Disney, and their thoughts on this. So tell me what you think. Comment below, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.